Sanche, from the birthplace of the Bohemian Revolution, from Cowork 591 Studios. This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network with producer Blake Tempus and co-host Dale Rueber. I'm Jim Gillespie, and this is the Jesup News for March 11th, 2024, a special St. Patrick's Day show for all of you. Tonight we have a horse named Sleeping Tom. Dale has something for you. We talk about Irish music.
Okay.
We talk about the top 10 Irish songs. We have library news. We have our weekly update, and we look at the Steve Brown Arts Center. Remember, the Steve Brown Arts Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has a vision for artists, young and old alike, to have the opportunity to better themselves while helping to build the skills of those around them. It will be offering community programming starting in Jesup before expanding to neighboring communities. Programming will include a community speaker series that will showcase existing creatives who reside within the community, as well as a pop-up series that will spotlight and partner with local businesses, provide the opportunities for community engagement. Remember, the long-range vision is to house a rural artist residency program for professional and emerging artists in all areas of the arts and the humanities. Artists will be offered accommodations and studio space in exchange for a contribution of labor and maintenance of the buildings and the ground. I want to start first, though. Dale had a chance to go down and watch his grandson play in the boys' state basketball tournament, so let's talk about that a little bit, Dale.
Okay, well, they played a very rugged Grundy Center team, and looks like a lot of football players. So it was a very rough game, and there were two intentional fouls where people were knocked to the floor. Grundy Center knocking down a Hudson player, which ultimately cost them the game towards the end. And so it was nip and tuck, very close. Grundy Center was really in control of the game for the most part by a point or two almost all the way through. I think maybe they had a 6-point lead at one time. They had a 9-point lead, I think, at half, and then Hudson came out and they scored the first 6 points, and so they cut that down, and then it was just nip and tuck all the way. And then in the end, Hudson got the intentional fouls. They got 2 free throws, and they got the ball and got another basket, so they ended up winning by 55-51 by 4 points.
Did it look like an intentional foul?
Oh, it was very obvious, and it was called. It was called because the guy was going steal and an uncontested layup. And the guy came from behind him and just arms around him hitting the. It was very intense. There was 2 of them like that during the game, and both on breakaway layup chances. And they would have been better off in the long run to let the kids score the 2 points,
right,
and get the ball back instead of scoring the 2 points and also losing the ball. So, but it's 2 different players. But it was just a very tough game, and so I stayed and watched the second game. And it's a Christian school out of Orange City, which is way over in the northwest corner of the state. And they are much more in line. They play ball the way Hudson does, up and down, and a lot of 3-point shooting and quick defense. And so that'll be a very interesting game. Right. And so, but no, the boys, the game could have gone either way. But the boys ended up just at the very end, they got that opportunity. And it was nice because the Davis boy had missed some crucial free throws earlier in the game and made 1 out of 2 and this sort of thing, but he made 4 in a row at the very end there, and so that iced the game for them. So it was nice for him that, and I had forgotten this, but he had missed a free throw last year at the very end of a game when they were trying to go to state that it cost them. And so it was nice that he got to redeem himself and he had to wait a whole year, but he got to do it. So anyway, it's kind of exciting. A lot of people down there, and we're playing in Thursday at 12:15. And then if they win that game, they play again on Friday.
Well, I saw a picture of you and your family together with your grandson after the game, and that was a real nice picture. It was so good to see most of the family there.
Yeah. Oh, there was Nate had a lot of Amy. His mother had people coming, uncle and cousins and this sort of thing from Omaha that drove, and so there were a lot of people there just for Nate, kind of interesting. And I don't know, it's just fun to see. And I don't know if you know Mark Hamilton.
Yes.
He was at one of the games here towards the end, and when the kids were going to state, he told Nathan that Nathan's father, Chris, my son, had scored 3 points when he was at the state tournament back in '95. So he said, you got to score more than that so you can hold the family record. Well, Nate didn't score any points Tuesday, so he gets another chance. He played a lot of defense, but usually he gets little rebounds and puts them back in. Well, there weren't very many of those. There was a lot of. It was just a different kind of game.
Well, Grundy's the foot 1A. I believe they're 1A football champion.
Yeah, they won. Yeah.
And so they sit with a ton of athletes there,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and I'm sure they're not afraid to be physical.
No, they weren't. And
and the later you get in the year, and you and I talked about this maybe as we drove to a tournament game one night. The later you get in the year, the more the officials allow the players to play.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be the reason why somebody lost or won.
Right.
The officials don't want, they want to call the game, but they don't want to be the game or be the deciding factor in a game. And so it's like when the Iowa women had that toss-in play with 0.3 of a second left in the half, and just a beautiful pass and shot, and the referee said, nope, didn't count. And I said, well, what a brave man, And there was a kid in a game, I think it was the second game where it was towards the end of the half, and he shot like a three-quarter court shot and made it. The referee stood right there and said, no, you traveled before you shot.
Right.
And so he didn't get the three, because that was a terrific shot, but didn't count. So I'm glad to see they have the courage of their convictions. They saw travel, and they called it travel.
Yep. It's a neat time of year, a wonderful time of year. Staying on the theme of basketball, did you watch on Fox on Sunday as Caitlin Clark passed Pistol Pete for the scoring lead?
Yes, I did. Glad, and I thought it was so ironic. Like they talked about the gamblers who could bet. Would she break it in the first half? And probably those guys said, no, she won't do it in the first half. And there's a couple seconds left on the clock or less than that, and she gets to shoot those free throws.
Yeah.
Some gambler go, oh, no, I thought I had it, I lost it. So
bad beat.
Yeah. So it's amazing. Those gamblers, they know.
They do.
The guy that set the odds, man, they know.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It was a very emotional game. Molly Davis hurt her knee real bad. She had an incredible steal, and it was not a intentional foul. She just stepped in front of a girl and
lost the knee went.
Hurt her knee. But it was a pretty violent game. That if you look and you watch the teams that handle Caitlin Clark well, they are the more physical teams.
Mm-hmm.
They realize that Iowa wants to play more finesse, more up and down. They don't want to play the violent game.
Yeah. I was really surprised. Like the big girl at Ohio State scored like 33 points, and she was really a non-factor as far as I could tell in this game. And you just wonder what they did to take her out of it, because you hardly ever saw even her face on camera. She just was like she wasn't even there. And so I don't know what they did, but they really took her out of her game, it seems like. And if things go right, they'll play each other one more time up in Minneapolis in the tournament, because they're the 1 seed and Iowa's the 2 seed. So they could very easily, if they win out, meet again. So on a neutral court. So that'll be interesting to see how that goes. And
Now Iowa also, I believe, lost at Indiana.
Yeah.
And Iowa would play. Iowa's first game is Friday night at 5:30. They play the winner of. I think it's Wisconsin. Wisconsin.
I read it, but I don't remember.
Someone.
So, yeah.
But then, if they were to take care of business, Indiana were to take care of business, they would play Indiana then on Saturday.
Yeah.
But Indiana's going through a rash of illness or injuries right now, so that'll be interesting.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Because you'd like everybody to be healthy this time of year and ready to go. But it's a long season.
It is.
I mean, a kid's, 30 games anyway?
Oh,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
Because Iowa's, 25-4 or something, and so so that's a lot of basketball. And then you figure all the practicing they do and all the months before the season starts that they play, and so it's amazing what those girls go through. Well, the guys too.
That's exactly right. Well, a few things here before I forget. We want to mention some of our sponsors here. This is Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network, and we are sponsored by Reyes Concrete, located in Littleton, the Littleton Lounge LLC, the Littleton Chatham Historical Society, Laces, that sponsors art throughout Buchanan County, and Joe and Judy Olson, the Independence Bulletin Journal, and Derek's Repair LLC. Please support our sponsors as they do a great job of supporting us. Before we go on here, Dale, I want to talk about a horse named Sleeping Tom.
Okay.
Would have been about 1880 in Indiana. There was a horse that was bred to be a harness horse. After several attempts, racing horse, sired by several very successful horses, or a couple very successful horses. Well, this horse let its owner down, so the owner first sold it to a guy that used it as a cart horse and to haul stuff around. One day, that guy that owned that cart decided to run Sleeping Tom from one town to the other. And for 70 minutes, Sleeping Tom ran 17 miles from one town in Indiana to another town, so about 16 miles an hour, which is not real good for a horse.
Oh, okay. Sustain that.
Yeah, sustain that pace.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But then that man was stopped for speeding, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this young man came along and said, "I want to buy that horse. That horse is incredibly fast." And the guy said, "The horse isn't a racehorse. You'll never be able to succeed." Well, this young man took him and hooked him to a harness racing outfit and would go to what?
Sulky, is that little wagon, little cart?
I think so.
Yeah, harness racing? Okay.
Yeah. And they would go to the track in the morning and practice, and this young man would get up close to the horse and talk to him in his ear and whisper to him, and this horse became incredible. One day this horse was racing against the fastest horses in the area track, and he was like 30-1, and he crushed those other horses. And after the race, his owner got up real close and talked to him in the ear and whispered to him and praised him and everything. And the guy walked up to the owner and said, "Well, why do you do that? How come you do that?" He says, "Well, this horse is blind." So Sleeping Tom was a blind horse.
Okay.
Yeah, and became one of the greatest harness racing horses of his generation. So that's...
No one noticed that.
No one noticed it.
Wow.
Yeah. That's another story from the archives of Paul Harvey.
Okay.
This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. Dale, what do you have for obituaries today?
Okay. I just have one, which I guess is always good news.
Yeah.
And this is the obituary of Richard C. Rick Fernald, and he was 62. And funeral services were Monday, March the 4th, at St. Athanasius Catholic Church in Jesup, and he was buried in the St. Athanasius Church Cemetery. They had visitation at White Funeral Home on Sunday, March the 3rd. Richard Carl Fernald was born December 19, 1961, the son of Robert and Barb Kirko Fernald. Rick graduated from Jesup High School with a class of 1981. He worked at Big Timber Hardwoods in rural Urbana, Iowa for 18 years. He liked to learn about the different types of woods and was proud of his work. He also worked at Best Cobb and Goodwill Industries, both in Independence. Rick liked to watch sports, especially the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Iowa Hawkeyes, and he knew all the stats of all the important players. He loved going to the Darrell E. Davis Day Center in Independence and participating in all the activities they had to offer. He always looked forward to being the bingo caller. Rick had a fun-loving personality and liked to sing and dance. He enjoyed going on vacation and taking trips with his family. He never forgot the time he was able to go to Pittsburgh and see his beloved Steelers in person. And Rick was a member of St. Athanasius Catholic Church in Jesup. Rick is survived by his loving mother, Barb Fernald of Jesup, Iowa, one sister, Lori Hauser of Mason City, one brother, Russell of Galveston, Indiana, his nephews and nieces, Adam Hauser, Ashley Hauser, Bobby Nicole Casada, Ashley Ray Flynn, 5 great-nieces, 5 great-nephews, and many aunts, uncles, and cousins. He was preceded in death by his grandparents, Oliver Dwight Fernald and Ione Lillian Rathman Fernald, Paul and Irene Kirkove, and his father, Robert Bob Fernald. Memories may be directed to St. Athanasius Church and the Darrell E. Davis Day Center. And you can still do condolences at white-mounthope.com. And White Funeral Home, of course, would handle all the arrangements.
Thank you, Dale.
Yeah.
So, Dale, here's a question for you. Think about this a little bit, and I'll give you an example. I'll bloviate a little bit while you...
You're going to who?
Bloviate.
Okay, you're going to start using big words while we're in trouble here. Okay.
If you could put the most unique people together on a podcast, what are some tandem teams that you would put together? For example, Ray Charles and Kramer from Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
Taylor Swift and Janis Joplin. Prince and Hank Williams. Snoop Dogg and Bud Grant, the Minnesota Viking football coach.
Okay. So you've used all my guesses already. They're all my... Okay, I got it.
All right, you got it. Yeah. All right. Give me...
Oh,
give
I
me
thought you were going to give me a minute.
All right, give me some more.
Yeah.
All right.
No, don't give me any more. Just give me a minute.
All right. Let me give you a couple more.
Okay.
Michael Jordan and the Paul Yeager and let's see, Paul Yeager on public television. And who could we put?
Like Dan Rather, somebody like that. You talking about another news guy or
no, sort of opposite, polar opposite.
Opposite of Paul Yeager. So you need somebody that's not very nice and doesn't have much hair. And
there you go.
Well, sounds like you.
There you go, me.
So you and Paul could yell at each other.
Paul and I. So you did? Have you got any deal?
Well, I was thinking. The first thing that popped in my mind after you said a couple was like it'd be interesting to have like Mick Jagger and John Lennon together talking about why they thought which was the greatest band of all time.
Oh,
that sort of thing. And then you could have what's the guitar player on the Stones?
Oh, Keith Richards?
Keith Richards, who was famous for substance abuse, talk with somebody like Pat Boone, who was famous for drinking milk and wearing white shoes, So that would be a real contrast as far as how a rock and roll guy should conduct himself. They say Keith Richards will never die because he's been embalmed for the last 20 years, and so he's going to keep on going. So I try to think of some baseball players that would be interesting to have talk, and I see Steve Garvey is in the running to become a senator out of California, take Dianne Feinstein's.
Oh, really? I hadn't heard that.
Yeah. There's a congressman, and then Steve Garvey is in second place, I guess, and they have to have a runoff. But didn't he have a controversy back when he was playing? Like he had 2 families, 2 wives, and 2 groups of children, that sort of thing, way back when? Because he was like Mr. Homebody, good guy, and then all at once this scandal broke out.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember the exact scandal.
But there was something came up. Yeah, it was something like that. So I was just wondering, is 50 years long enough for him to live that down and run for senator? The
present people running have their own scandals.
That's
so
true,
I
yeah.
don't think
So-
that would hurt it.
Yeah, but I thought that was very interesting because I hadn't thought about Steve Garvey. He was on those great Dodger teams,
Yeah.
and hadn't thought about him for years. And all at once I see where he is in the running to become a senator from California. So I thought it was interesting. So
That is interesting.
another pair to well, it'd be interesting to get Kamala Harris, the vice president, and say like Nikki Haley, both about the same age, some of the same experiences, and but really different political views.
You would.
So that would be interesting if they would honestly share why they think their ideas are such and which way the country should go and this sort of thing. So that might be kind of interesting.
Although this comes out on Wednesday. We tape this today on Wednesday the 6th. This comes out on March 11th. Nikki Haley dropped out today from the presidential election.
Yeah.
Although uniquely, she usually, if you're from the same party as another person, you throw your support to that person, and she did not throw her support to former President Trump.
Yeah. Well, my thinking is that though she dropped out of the race, she has to remain viable because a lot could happen with Trump between now, say, September. A lot of negative things could happen, and so they need somebody to say, hey, I'm still here, and I'm available, and I'm different. I didn't endorse it, I'm different. So it would be smart on her part, I think, to just kind of lay in the weeds and keep herself available just in case.
I said this last time, Dale, and I don't think that as much of a train wreck as the Republican Party is, it's going to be real hard for President Trump. But, geez, I said that last time. When he was elected the first time, I was way off, and he won the election. So I won't say that.
Yeah. No, there's a lot going on in the world, and it's hard for me. I don't understand most of it, I guess. So It's hard.
Yeah. This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. Make sure you thank our sponsors. We're sponsored by Keith Bickert, Jacobson Fabrication Repair LLC, Even Events and Rentals LLC, Thomas James LLC, both giant supporters of Littleton Free Watermelon Day. Boyd's Food Truck, Mickey D's Pizza and Lobster. They've been making pizza since Lent's come upon us every Wednesday down behind St. A's to raise money for St. Athanasius. Dream Chaser Acres, Bobby Leach and Farm Bureau Financial Services, M&M Bakery in Lawrence, Kansas. Hi to everybody in Kansas. I know we have a number of listeners in that great state. Innovative Wealth Management and Cowork 591. Speaking of Cowork 591, Dale, some events taking place this week. They have food trucks here this week bringing the chai from 11 to 6 today, the 11th. Two-way catering tomorrow, the 12th, from 11 to 6. And on the 13th, they have Judy's food truck from 11 until 6.
Okay.
So, Dale, we'll have to take turns buying each other lunch next week.
Okay, bringing the chai. What kind of food is that, do you think?
I'm guessing it's probably would that be Taiwanese, or would that be out there in Eastern Asia somewhere?
Yeah. Okay, and then two-way. Is that just two-way?
Two-way catering.
That looks like it might be more Chinese or something. Judy's food truck. I love Judy's food. So
do you?
I don't know, but it sounds like it'd be more like I'm used to eating, I guess. But
all right.
Actually, on the 20th, they have Smiley soup and sandwiches. It sounds just like a down-homey kind of thing, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. Judy is back again on the 19th as well, and Two-Way is back again on the 21st.
Fat Roy's Mexican on the 27th. They were here last year.
Yeah, there you go.
Char Boom's Craft Barbecue.
Most of these are here during the lunch hour.
Yeah.
A lot of these are here from 11 till 6. The majority of them actually are here from 11 to 6. Smiley soup and sandwiches are only here from 11 till 2. Yeah. If you're not sure, go to Cowork 591's website, and they have their calendar there. So make sure you support the food trucks down here. Kelly does a nice job of bringing in different opportunities for you to eat different styles of food.
Yeah. Now, I talked to a lady at some event, and it must have been late last year. She and her husband do a food truck. Tell you I don't remember the name now, but it's a they really enjoy doing it, and I say, I was always worried, is it worth it? I've asked these guys when I get something here, is it worth it coming to Jesup? And they always said, yes, it is. That they do quite a good business while they're in town, and so another way to get out and support. This is a 1 or 2 person operation trying to make a living, and so it's. They had an article about, or a segment on the news show today about the price of hamburgers going up. Like McDonald's hamburgers are higher priced and this sort of thing. And on the evening news, they were interviewing these people. They're sitting in a lounge, a bar. It looked like a very nice place. So I don't know if you bought a mixed drink. I have no idea how much they cost. They're sitting there drinking mixed drinks, and the guy said, "What do you think about the way Biden's handling the economy?" "Oh, food is way too high and this and that." But they're in a lounge spending I don't know how many dollars per drink. I thought you should interview people at the food pantry or something. If you want to make a statement. But I just thought that was interesting.
That is interesting.
Somebody was saying, and it wasn't a familiar hamburger place, but they were charging like $11 for a fast food hamburger or something. And we remember, don't we, when they were 15 cents or whatever. So, man alive.
It was, my mom would give me $1 and I could go down and buy myself a Mountain Dew and a candy bar and buy her a pack of cigarettes for that $1.
Yeah. Something they'd let you buy the cigarettes for your mom.
They would. They'd look out in the car and see her out in the car and let me get the cigarettes.
Yeah. That's small. That's small town. That's great. Yeah.
It was.
So,
Yes, it was. They wouldn't let them do it today.
No, I mean, you see movies where the grandpa or the dad will say, "You take the bucket down and get me a bucket of beer," and
those were different times.
Yeah.
This is T. Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. Dale, what do you have for us today?
We have some news from the school today. I was going to share that with you. The Jesup Community School District, and it's interesting. We know that people like to see and read the news through social media, but through various discussions and meetings, we heard that there's part of our community that would still like to read from a piece of paper, and so they have sent this packet out. And I don't know how you get a copy of this, but this was here. And you said you saw it at other businesses today, and Blake said that. And so, someone had asked me just the other day about, I'll share this one paragraph from the superintendent about the building projects. And he says, first and foremost, the update on the building project. The South Addition consisted of 4 new classrooms, and these are all but finished except for the final punch list. We will be able to start moving in very soon. Do you know what a punch list is?
I'm guessing it's sort of like the Staples, like electric outlets and things like that.
Okay, is it like a walkthrough kind of thing too?
I'm guessing so.
Okay, all right. So they're going to start using those classrooms very soon. The North Addition, that's where the big crane is, has most of the large precast walls in place, and the roofing is being completed over the next few weeks. The tall walls in the middle are for the auditorium and the high school offices. New entryway from the north parking lot, a new vocal classroom, new band room, new ag room, new metal shop, and a new wood shop are scheduled to be completed by next summer of 2025. And so they're really making really good progress up there. And I suppose it'll be a while before they know exactly when they can use these new rooms. But as time goes on, it looks like they're making real good progress. A few smaller items that have been completed so far entail ADA, American with Disabilities Act, stair railing, ADA bathrooms on the first floor and second floor of the 1951/55 building. A few other projects taking place in the future. This summer, the east entryway to the high school will be regraded and resurfaced to also be more ADA accessible. And next summer, it'll be 2025, the second floor rooms in the 51/55 building will be remodeled for new art classrooms for the middle school and the high school. The 51/55 building is kind of like that little rectangle that sticks up, there's 2 or 3 stories that they left when they tore down the elementary school. and it's where the elevator is, and it's kind of right over the lunchroom, or I don't know. But there's been classrooms in there for a long time. But that's the part. That must be the oldest part of the school now.
Yeah,
and they've worked on. There's been several things over the years, but they are getting a lot done up there. It'll be amazing and wonderful when they start having tours and that sort of thing, because people I know you see that going on up there. If you get this packet, they have pictures of artist conceptions of what things are going to look like, and they have the schematic drawings and that sort of thing, so you get a better idea of what's going on. And if you have little kids, preschool, pre-K, kindergarten.
I don't know. Good question.
Okay. But they're having an open house at the Jesup Elementary School from April the 10th, or on April the 10th from 4 o'clock till 6 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is a very handy little thing, and I would bet if you would like one like this packet, you could probably call the school and find out how you could get one, because they have the calendar in here and everything like that. So I don't know how often they're putting that out, but
I would guess monthly.
Monthly? Yeah, well, yes, it's March. Yep. So I would bet monthly. So if you're interested in what's going on at the school, and I know a lot of people, even if they don't have kids, are interested in the new construction and what it's going to look like, and how we can avail ourselves of it in the future. So sounds pretty good.
All right. Well, thank you, Dale.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I'm sorry. One more thing. I was going to winners and losers, but we can do it this way. I had a chance to see a game in person at the girls' basketball tournament, and then also several games I watched on television. Then I was down and saw two games on the boys on Tuesday. And I tell you, talking to one of the ladies who supervises the seating, I suppose you call her an usher, and make sure nobody sits where they're not supposed to sit, this sort of thing. And she was saying that how boring the boys' tournament is compared to the girls, which she had worked the week before, because at halftime, all they do is show commercials on the big screen up there, and they don't have any floor activities. And the girls, they have 95 girls doing a synchronized dance routine and waving flags, and they had guys down there eating wings as a little contest, and they would pick a fan from each side, and they would have a wing eating contest and this sort of thing. And they had just stuff going all the time. And the boys, as we were there, nothing. And also the boys, that irritates me greatly, is that they have TV timeouts. They got a guy in a red shirt and a red hat, and when he puts his hand up, everything stops and everybody waits till they have their commercials. Where the girls are on public television, so you don't have that. And so the girls do, I think, a much better job of making the tournament much more entertaining and also much more enjoyable to watch, because they're not so concerned with TV commercials. That's what they're, just one after the other up there, and they show them over and over again every break that they have. And people get tired of being sold all the time, I think. And so, but anyway, so congratulations to the girls' union, because I think you're doing a much greater job. It's probably been that way forever, I suppose. Yeah, because the girls have always had all that hoopla, and it's just fun to watch. Yeah. And I'm of the age where I enjoy seeing those Hall of Fame players come out, because I remember when they were playing, right. And I always feel good about that. And so, I don't know, the boys have nothing like that, so it's too bad.
It is, and we've talked about this on the podcast before, Dale. I was the only state in the union that has a girls and boys athletic union.
Yeah.
And nationwide, for years, girls' state championship would be broadcast in other states. If you talk to a number of coaches throughout the state, and not all coaches, but if you talk to a number of boys coaches, there is an argument that says that the girls union doesn't need to exist, that it is a waste of money to do that, that the money could be pumped in for both of them. But you go back to when the girls union was born in about 1925, they were trying to kill girls basketball. And so that's how it was born. I've justified the girls union for years, and there's still a couple reasons. You have to pay online to get all the boys' games online if you want to watch them.
Yeah.
And the girls is free online if you want to watch early rounds. Like you say, the the girls' union involves many other people from many other schools throughout the week in dancing and chorus and bands.
Well, the Parade of Champions,
Parade
that sort
of
of thing.
Champions.
Yeah. They celebrate the Iowa girl,
They
which
do.
I think is important because girls oftentimes have to take a back seat to boys' activities. It's still at this age. And so I think their emphasis on the Iowa girl, and I think it should be. And it's good to have an organization that's just concerned with the Iowa girl. So.
You look and I believe the girls would be lost. The boys have football. The boys have basketball.
Mm-hmm.
There are what is called minor and major sports, and this is no attack on any other sports. It's just how it's classified as minor and major sports. For example, cross country is considered a minor.
There's no revenue.
There's no revenue. Yeah. I mean, it is. Jesup has one of the biggest meets in the state early in October every year, where 30 schools are invited, and so they pay for their entry fees for the rest of the year. And Jesup may be one of the few teams in the state that makes just a little money from cross country. Mm-hmm. But the money makers are the major sports, football and basketball.
Yeah.
So I agree. I agree with you, Dale. The girls' union does a nice job here in Iowa. And I don't know how you change that. I don't think they do need to change that. There's no reason to change it.
I don't know that there's a move to do that. I know that the director is retiring this year.
The
girls director is retiring, and so maybe the next director may have something else on his or her mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. It's quite an entertaining show, and it's good basketball. People love it, and so I hope they basically leave it alone. I'm sure there's things they can do to make it better, even, but I hope that the basic premise is that it's all about girls and the girls' sports in Iowa and girls' activities in Iowa and scholarships available to girls, all the stuff that they impart. I think it's just wonderful, and so I hope they keep doing it.
Well, and this lady that is retiring brought girls wrestling into the fold to the girls' union, to her credit.
Yeah.
I heard this today. Within the next 10 years, there will be Division I girls football in our country.
Oh, is that right?
That is the talk, actually.
Well, see, that's the big. So much money is spent on football because you need so many players and you need lots of equipment that there's always that inequality between more money is spent on boys' sports than girls' sports, mainly because of football.
Right.
And so and then they added volleyball, and now they've added soccer and trying to give the girls more opportunities to try to even that up a little bit. But,
what was that, Title IX? Title IX or Title 18?
I know what you mean, yeah.
I believe it was Title
where
Title
they even
18.
it out more.
Yeah, where they even a college must offer as many girls scholarships as they do boys scholarships.
I think when I went to high school in Owine, this would be in the 60s, from 62, 63 to 65, and we had 0 girls sports. Mm-hmm. They had boys football, they had boys track, they had boys basketball, boys wrestling, and that was it. And the girls had 0 sports. There's 4 or 5 girls could be cheerleaders, and that was it. And think about it, because that's just the way it was. You just
right.
And then later on, you think, well, wow, that really wasn't very fair.
Now, Dale, I've got to tell you this: the NCAA is a train out of control right now.
Yeah,
the NIL has brought money into the athletes' pockets.
Did you hear the latest about? Is it Dartmouth College?
Yes.
The basketball players have voted to join a union.
Yeah. 13 of the 15 voted to join a union. Now, that will, at first, just the private colleges, because Dartmouth is private, but I believe it's USC also has a similar lawsuit going on.
I had not heard that. So.
And trying to bring about a union out there. So if USC wins that lawsuit, they they will bring that to the public schools as well.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. There's so much money, and the NCAA can't control it. They lost a court case to Tennessee here recently. Here, the first in the 9 months, in the first 9 months since USC has joined the Big Ten, they have received $50 million from the Big Ten.
Oh, okay.
It is. Imagine the money out there.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, it's a train out of control.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
And you get down to the base, it's just a bunch of kids playing ball, one way or the other, one kind of ball or another. But there's so much money, like you say, in the gambling, because they're being pushed, and every state's pushing gambling, and in the money that these conferences make. And the Big Ten shares their money. They always did. They still do that?
Yeah.
They share the money. They put it all in a big pot, and they divide it. And so it's a very lucrative conference to be in. That's even though they can't count very well. So.
Yeah. This is the Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network. Dale, so in celebration of St. Patrick's Day, I wanted to ask you this: what could you name 5 Irish songs?
Okay, right away. Oh, Danny Boy.
Oh, Danny
I
Boy.
got that. Turalura Lura.
All right,
Does that
the great
count?
lullaby.
Yeah. I don't know. That may be it right there, right offhand.
Okay, all right. I've got the top 10 Irish songs of
right.
all time.
I can't wait to hear them.
And as I list these, remember that this coming Saturday, March 16th, at the Sanity Room in Independence, along with the Sanity Room, the Steve Brown Arts Center is co-sponsoring the Irish Blue Band Trio, and they play from 7 until 10. That's 7 until 10. Make sure you come to that, please. I may have that wrong. Dale, give me the name of them.
The Irish Blue Drifters Trio.
Excuse me. Thank you. The Irish Blue Drifters Trio.
Yeah.
I was listening to them online. They are a mixture of Celtic music and Western and country songs.
Okay.
They have a mixture of different music, but I'm sure on the eve of St. Patrick's Day, they will have plenty of Gaelic music for you.
Okay.
But here is the...
And do you know where they're from? Or?
They are from the Twin Cities.
Twin Cities, okay.
Yeah, they are from the Twin Cities.
Okay.
They are... If you go online, go to YouTube, and you're interested, check them out.
Okay.
But I like this quote. Here are the top 10 Irish songs in the name of God and of the dead generations from which she receives her old tradition of nationhood. Ireland, through us, summons her children to her flag and strikes for her. They're still fighting. Of the 32 counties in Ireland, the 4 northern counties are part of the UK, and the 28 southern counties are part of the Republic of Ireland.
Right.
But since 9/11 and the terrorist acts of 9/11, the Irish Republican Army and their romanticism was sort of made pretty ugly.
Yeah.
And not supported. A lot of money was going out of the United States to the IRA before that time.
Yeah.
So here are the top 10 Irish songs of all time. The Orange and the Green, okay? Come Out You Black and Tan. It's a rebel song.
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of that, but I don't know.
Okay. Oh, that's a wonderful song,
Okay.
Dale. Raglan Road.
Nope.
Just bring a tear to your eye. About a man that walks on Raglan Road and every day sees this beautiful woman. And then one day he's walking and he realizes the beautiful woman he is always seeing is a statue. Galway Girl. Oh, the fiddle in Galway Girl is wonderful.
Okay.
Remind me to play it when we're off air, Dale.
Okay.
I don't want to get us in trouble.
Yeah. Okay.
The music you hear in the background is free Irish music.
Oh, okay.
By
All
the
right.
way.
Yeah. FreeIrishMusic.com, right?
Yeah, it is Free Sounds of Ireland.
Okay. I just watched The Quiet Man the other day.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
John Wayne.
John Wayne.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Maureen O'Hara. Okay.
Number 6, The Fields of Athenry.
No, that one.
Lorelei, the fields of Athenry.
That wasn't on the jukebox at the place I went. So I
Okay.
guess so. Okay.
Number 5, The Rising of the Moon.
I don't know that one either.
One
so.
year we went to Ireland, took a basketball team to Ireland, and Steve Moon, the longtime Denver basketball coach's daughter, went with us, Natalie. And one of the first days we were there, someone was singing The Rising of the Moon, and so I sang The Rising of the Moon the whole time on the trip to Natalie.
Okay.
Number 4, Finnegan's Wake.
Okay, I've heard of that one. Yes.
Yeah,
All right.
wonderful song.
Yeah.
Finnegan wasn't really dead. Number 3, Danny Boy.
Danny Boy, yeah.
If you go to Ireland, they don't claim it because so many Americans sing it in the United States.
Yeah. I've ever listened to the Jack Benny program, but Dennis Day was his singer, and he would sing that every now and then. And just beautiful.
Oh, I love Danny
Yeah.
Boy. Number 2, Whiskey in the Jar.
Don't know that one.
Oh, it's a wonderful shanty. And number 1, I used to sing this every day to Tanya Robertson and Molly Forsythe in their 4th grade classes. I'd walk by before school. They'd be in there. Molly Malone.
Molly Malone.
Yeah. The fishmonger, Molly Malone.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah.
We sang that when I was in elementary school. The music class, the teacher would sing, would have us sing that song. So that's probably the only one I know all the words.
Right, right. There you go. There
That's
you go.
number 1?
What? That's number 1.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's number 1 in my eyes.
Okay.
I like the beat of several other ones, but Molly Malone is wonderful.
Yeah.
So that is the top 10 Irish songs of the time period. Dale, what do you have for us this week as far as news or anything to talk about?
Well, I have everything I thought I'd talk about. I've kind of talked about already. So,
Okay.
But I have the library news. I can read that.
Go ahead.
Okay. The Little Tot Storytime meets every Thursday at 10:30. They have songs and stories and more. And the spice for March is
Lavender?
no. Is that a spice? Okay. Tarragon. Tarragon. Pick up your sample and try it in your recipe. I have not heard of that.
I've heard of that.
Have you
I'm
really?
not sure what
Okay.
you put it in.
Well, Blake will look it up for us and we'll find out. You can exercise with your friends every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 o'clock in the library community room for low-impact video-led workouts. And they try to do a different video each day, and it goes from 45 to 60 minutes. Very beginner-friendly. And you can do those seated or standing. Books and Brews Book Club. You like books, you like beer. Join us for our Books and Brews Book Club. We talk about books and drink beer. Better talk first, Judd, don't you think? Get your talking out of the way. We talk about books and drink beer the second Monday of every month at Allerton Brewing Company in Independence. Our next Books and Brews meeting will be on Monday, March 11 at 6:30. So if you hear this during the day, you'll have a chance to get there at 6:30 p.m. We will discuss Someone Else's Shoes by Jojo Moyes. Pick up your copy of the selected book at the public library and meet at the Allerton. Willy Wonka Braille. Learn Braille the Willy Wonka way. Join us on this No School Monday, March 18 at 10 o'clock to learn Braille using candy dots. Must pre-register at tinyurl.com/Wonka Braille. Suitable for grades 5 and plus. Did you ever try to do Braille? Yeah, I every night you read kids' books and they show you examples of Braille, and I don't think I could ever do it. It just feels like a splotch. But you have to feel all those little bumps. Mm-hmm. And so I don't know if I could do it or not. But using candy dots would be, you could get the idea of the outline a little easier than those tiny little things. And so for someone to figure that out, I'm sure it must be Mr. Braille.
Right.
The Chapter Chat Book Club the book is Surviving Savannah by Patty Callahan, and you can pick that up. And the book club will meet Monday, March 18th, so you have a week. Friends of the Library meet on Thursday, March 21st at 6 o'clock, and everybody's welcome. If you're interested in the library, come to the meeting. Movie Monday on March 25th, The Marsh King's Daughter. Okay, do you remember that? A woman with a secret past will venture into the wilderness she left behind to confront the most dangerous man she's ever met, and that's her father. Admission and popcorn is always free. It's rated R. It takes an hour and 49 minutes. The Marsh King's Daughter. I don't know. Support the Jesup Public Library. They have the Velvet Coffee Company Bookworm Blend Coffee available. Whole bean or ground, 1.5 ounces or 12-ounce bags. You can order a Public Library 30-ounce Polar Camel water bottle with a QR code at the front desk. Vinyl Public Library stickers are on sale in 2 styles for only $2 each. Bookmarked with the Public Library logo, made locally at So Craftsy, you think? Are available for $3.50. All of these support the Friends of the Jesup Public Library. You can borrow cake pans. You want to make a Easter bunny or a St. Patrick's Day cake? They have a cake pan, I bet, for that.
No, thank you.
Oh, Blake, you're not getting an Easter bunny cake for your birthday. Have a birthday or gathering coming up, borrow fun and unique shaped cake pans from the Public Library. They also have cookie cutters to choose from, hearts to tractors to book characters. There's something for everyone. And then the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten program is designed to be simple and encourage making reading a daily habit. Sign up at the library to receive a log to record your child's first 100 books, or use the 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten app available in your app store or on iTunes. As always, they still are doing the Dolly Parton club also. And so it's a wonderful thing for little kids. So
a little cleanup from last couple of weeks' show. Don't forget the trumpeter that was on last week, Greg Dietrich, will be performing April 6th, Saturday, from 1 to 3 at the Convention Center in Waterloo at the Iowa Eats Festival.
I saw a commercial for that festival the other day, so I understand a little bit more about it now. So it was on Channel 7.
Okay. Did you want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, just the Iowa Eats Festival.
Okay.
Different kinds of food, I guess. They didn't talk about the trumpet player. But
if you go to IowaEatsFestival.com, you can find out more about that.
I bet you can.
Yep. That's April 6th from 1 to 3. At the Convention Center in downtown Waterloo. Don't forget that this coming yesterday.
Okay.
Forgive me, yesterday were the Oscars. And so we will have those results.
Next time we see who did well.
As we meet
again.
Presently, and remember this is taped on Wednesday the 6th. The positions for the Iditarod right now, and forgot to tell you guys this, but local celebrity Virgil Hovden was at the start for the Iditarod.
Oh, okay.
And he told his wife that it was like being in the locker room of the Super Bowl. He was awful excited about it.
I bet he was, because he's a big dog guy. That'd be great for him.
He talked a lot about the Iditarod and
takes a special kind of person to go to Alaska this time of year, I think. So
it does. So, but here are the positionings on March 6th in first place out of Ophir, with a time of 3 days, 6 hours, 5 minutes, and 39 seconds is an earlier winner, Dallas Seavey.
Okay.
He's always going at the speed of 7.75 miles per hour.
Wow.
He is running right now 15 dogs, and he always trims his dogs down. By the end, he'll be running 9 dogs, more or less running behind them. He does a lot of running in the race.
Is there a strategy for that? Or from 15?
Yeah.
What is? Do you know what?
The strategy is for the speed early. Then he lightens the load, and uses the more distance dogs at the end.
Okay. And they have to carry the dog's food with them on the sleigh, do they, or does someone bring
No,
that?
they drop it at each spot.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought maybe their sleigh would get lighter each day,
Right.
but okay.
Number 2 is Jesse Holmes. He's out of Ophir. He's running 13 dogs. He's running a little faster at 7.93 miles per hour. He is 7 minutes behind Seavey right now. He's 7 minutes behind Seavey right now. 2 hours and 7 minutes, actually. Matthew Failer is third, and last year's winner, Ryan Reddington, is just into Takatna. He's actually a stop behind, and many of the others are there as well. The top 6 mushers are Seavey is out of Ophir, and the next 5 are just into Ophir.
Okay.
But it will be hard for them to run Seavey down, because Seavey will lighten his load. He'll you take he's a runner, and he was a former college wrestler besides.
Okay.
He's a workout freak.
So, yeah.
The Sean Williams lost a dog, or had a dog lost a dog during the race, I think at Takatna, and he is running about 2 miles an hour slower than the leaders are right now.
Okay, lost, you mean like unable to perform or just gone?
Unable to finish.
Okay.
I see that there are two mushers running 16 dogs right now.
Okay.
And
Is there a limit, do you know? Or?
Yeah, I believe right in there is the limit,
Okay.
and the leash you can run with, I believe, is 9.
Okay.
There's one, Anna Bennington, the female running, the highest female is running with 10 dogs presently, but she is running at 6.36 miles an hour. She's just into Ophir as well. That's the up to date as far as that Iditarod right now. The Steve Brown Arts Center Podcast Network.
I was going to remind people, besides the March 16th, the next after that is April 14th. We're having our mystery artists at the Littleton Chatham pancake breakfast. We don't know what time yet, do we?
We don't. I will have to talk to Tony on that.
Well, you got a month yet.
We do. I will give you a clue on the mystery artist. Mystery artist is a female from Jesup.
Okay.
She is a very prominent female right now, and she is very popular in Jesup right now. If you go to Facebook, you will see her arts regularly on Facebook.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully we can convince her to be in Littleton in April.
Yeah, April 14th. The Littleton Chatham
Historical
Society. What's that H stand for?
Yeah, Historical Society.
I'm sorry. Historical Society. That's in Littleton, and that will be April 14th. So I'm anxious to see if we can guess who she is before that. So.
There you go. There you go.
Can you bring another clue next week?
I will bring another clue.
Okay.
I will bring another clue.
Okay.
The next clue, you will. A lot of our listeners will guess her.
Okay.
You have to remember the Steve Brown Arts Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization that is destined to open artist in residency. I was at a arts meeting in Decorah, met several people, including a person that runs an art farm for actors and actresses in the summertime.
Oh, okay.
Up in Mitchell County.
Okay.
They bring in about 100 actors and actresses. They bring in producers like Heather and her husband. And they put on, I believe it is, they put on an elementary, a middle school, and a high school play. Mm-hmm. All 3 in the summertime. So, and this lady actually has a full-time job getting ready for that.
I would bet. There's a lot of work goes into And then to do 3 productions and to work with that many kids,
Yeah.
that'd be a lot of work.
Yes, it is. So we spent time at the Art House up in Decorah, Arthaus.
Okay.
And a wonderful place, and I learned a lot. I learned that we need a lot more money too, Dale. But
Well, I can't cut my salary any more than I already have. So.
that's all right. Well, we need to pay our talent big money. So, Dale, do you have anything else tonight before we wrap up?
I guess I'm good.
Okay.
Enjoyed seeing you again. So.
I enjoyed seeing you before.
And they asked about you at the basketball game.
Really?
Yeah. Is your friend Gillespie here today? No, he didn't make this trip. So.
I wanted to come. What was that day? What was going on that day? I believe I had to see the Evil Dentist that day.
Yeah.
That is for another.
Willie Yankum.
It is for another some night.
Okay.
But before we leave, I want to wrap with this Irish prayer. May those who love us, and those who don't love us, may God turn their hearts. And if he doesn't turn their hearts, may he turn their ankles, so we'll know them by their limping. May the Irish hills caress you. May her lakes and rivers bless you. And may the luck of the Irish unfold you. May the blessings of St. Patrick behold you. This is the Steve Brown Arts Center. And remember, if you'd like to donate to the Steve Brown Arts Center or have any idea for an event, go to the stevebrownartscenter.org and follow the link. If you have news or would like to sponsor us, email us at jim@stevebrownartscenter.org or call 319-290-0241 and leave a message. I'm Jim Gillespie. Thanks to our producer, as always, Blake Tempus and Kelly Seahaas here at Cowork 591 Studios. Thanks to Dale for carrying this show, and thanks to the audience for bringing these stray dogs into your day. May you be half an hour in heaven before the devil knows you're dead.
There you go. That's what I was waiting for.